Liverpool versus Manchester United, probably the most anticipated matchup of the year. Finished in a 0-0 draw, it has been with most of these hyped up games this season. I believe City versus Chelsea tied 0-0. Liverpool versus uh, City, I believe, or versus Tottenham. It was 2-1, but it was tied most of the game. Uh, Liverpool versus somebody else, they tied like 0-0. A lot of these hyped up games this season had finished on draws. Oh, Liverpool, Chelsea, I think they finished 0-0 too. And now this time, Liverpool versus United 0-0. Liverpool haven't scored in the last 3 games. They can't seem to find the back of the net. Salah, Firmino, Mane, they're not taking their chances. They're not creating too many chances. De Gea had a quiet day. Other than some shots from distance, he didn't really have to do much. Liverpool never looked dangerous and never looked like... Sometimes Liverpool is going forward and you just think it's only a matter of time till they score a goal. They're sending too many players up front. They're getting too many crosses into the goal. The defense is just running all over the place. You could tell that the defense is panicking, is under a lot of pressure. And you're like, okay, within these next 5 to 10 minutes, Liverpool is going to score a goal. You never really felt that way against United. You haven't really felt that way in the last 3 games for Liverpool. It's not like Liverpool haven't scored in the last 3 games. And the keepers have been like amazing and made a lot of saves. Southampton keeper did make some key saves. I do remember that. But for the most part, it's not like they're just bombarding the other team's keeper, the other team's defense, and they just can't seem to find the back of the net. They're really struggling to create key chances, and I think they need to fix that. They need to do something about that. Klopp, you could tell he's looking for answers as he started Shaqiri, and he hasn't started a Premier League game in over a year. Didn't really get I don't think he really got what he was hoping for from Shaqiri. He didn't play bad, but he didn't really provide the spark. I think they need a goal scorer. Firmino has been struggling for a while now. He picked it up a little bit in that Tottenham game and the game after, I believe, but he's just not creating chances. Firmino is a really flair player, where when he makes those flair passes, those flair goals, it looks beautiful. You appreciate him. You appreciate his talent. You appreciate his imagination for making plays like that. But when you're not scoring goals and he does those little plays and they don't come out right and he just loses possession, I don't know. As a neutral, I find that it gets me kind of annoyed. I can only imagine how that must feel for Liverpool fans. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love his flair. I like players that have flair. But I think he needs to be more clinical and he needs to focus on scoring goals more. And is it time to find a goal scorer, another player up front? I know Firmino, Salah, and Mane have been the best front 3 in Europe the last 2-3 seasons. Put that front 3 against anybody, and most people will pick Firmino, Salah, and Mane. Is it time to bring in a goal scorer? We're still in the January transfer. They could still get somebody. We'll see if they do. Jota should be coming back soon. They need him. They need that spark. He was scoring goals for them in all their competitions. So we'll see when he gets back if he's able to turn this around. But United just looked like the better team. They were solid in the back. Got to give a shout out to Maguire and Lindelof. They played great, especially Maguire. I think he might be the player of the game for United. He was everywhere. He was cutting crosses. He was intercepting balls. He was taking on his chances. He looked solid in the bag, solid up top. Shout out to Maguire. I've been one of his harshest critics. I think I've called him out for his price tag, for his lack of scoring goals with the chances he has going forward. Sometimes he looks clumsy with the ball in his foot. But this was one of his better games, if not the best game I've seen him play for United. He really stepped it up, solidified that back four. He was one of the big reasons that you never really thought Liverpool was going to score a goal or never really looked dangerous. So shout out to Maguire and Lindelof. That pairing really had a great showing. And the only thing that this game solidified for me is that this Premier League race is going to be amazing. If United would have won this game, 6-point lead, maybe they start breaking away from the pack, but now they tie. And I think this favors City more than anybody. City has 2 games in hand. If they win both of them, they go top of the table by 1 point. But that top 4, that top 5, even that top 10 is really, really tight. I'm very excited to see how it plays out going forward. I'm excited to see if any of these teams contending right now make a big splash in this January transfer market. There hasn't really been one as of yet, but we'll see as it gets closer to the end of the transfer window. If anyone makes a push, if anyone gets a big name player, that could really shift the tide on whoever makes that big move. But I know a lot of teams they're kind of tight on money right now because of COVID. No fans, no ticket sales, all those merchandise sales from fans in stadiums. They're losing a lot of money, so I can see why teams are not willing to spend so much right now. But if one of those teams makes that leap of faith, that might be just a needed push to win the Premier League this season because it's so tight. Anybody could win it. Even Tottenham, who have been struggling after that Liverpool defeat, they're still, I believe they're 4th as of now, with like a couple points back. So we'll see who wins this game. I kind of expected more from this game, not going to lie. I was not hoping for a 0-0 draw. I feel like everybody wanted to see goals. I thought everyone thought we were going to get goals, but we didn't. 0-0 draw. It was pretty entertaining game, kind of. Not the best, not the worst. I'll take it. 0-0 draw. And we'll see how the Premier League season plays out this year.